Hi, and welcome to my recap of the last week or so of January 2026, give or take a day. So let's talk some stuff, shall we? On Thursday, January 22nd, I returned to Las Vegas for a full 2 days and 3 nights of horror and fantasy themed geeky goodness. I went with my friend Dave, who I have known since 1986, which means we have been friends for 40 years. That's a passage of time. My heart did a little leap of joy when I learned we would be staying at the Excalibur, a King Arthur themed hotel and casino on the Vegas Strip, because doing so presented me with the perfect opportunity to finally see the Tournament of Kings dinner show. While the show does have Merlin and King Arthur and Mordred and Excalibur and even a round table, it also takes some pretty big liberties with how the legend plays out. But who cares about being accurate to the myths and legends of Arthur when all people want is an entertaining and lively show where good defeats evil in grand fashion? And it does. While photos were allowed, as long as there was no flash photography to startle the horses or distract the stunt performers, video or live streaming was not. Although I did get a quick establishing video of the venue when we were being seated. I got a lot of photos of the show, though, which, along with that aforementioned establishing video, I have used to put together a little slideshow for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some glimpses at the delights that await you at the Tournament of Kings. Should you choose to have an awesome night of fun, on Friday, Dave and I had an entire day to kill before the evening festivities, which was Universal's Horror Unleashed at Area 15. Now, this gave us an opportunity to indulge and explore some areas of Vegas that, for one reason or another, we have previously been unable to. So, first, I got us to visit Dragon Castle Books, a used bookstore, which has its own video. So, I won't be retreading on any trod ground here. After that, we returned to the Excalibur for lunch and a very brief bout of gambling, because it's Vegas, baby. Now, the previous weekend, I lost $5 to a Frankenstein slot machine at the Venetian. On Friday, I had a bit more luck in my timing with one of the Frankenstein slots at the Excalibur. This time around, I fed a $10 bill into the machine, and at first it looked like I was going to lose that money as well. But I then had two back-to-back wins that put me $2 ahead. So I cashed out and called it a day. Then Dave and I decided to pay a visit to the Hollywood Cars Museum, which has a nice selection of replicas as well as some actual screen-used show cars. What cinched the deal for me was that they had what I assume was a replica of the alligator car that Frankenstein, the late great David Carradine, drove in Death Race 2000. That I had to see. They also had a lot of Bond movie cars and replicas. Highlights there were the flying car from The Man with the Golden Gun, and I believe the actual submarine car prop from The Spy Who Loved Me. They had two Batmobiles, of course, the original series, and I think the one from Batman Forever, as well as the Bat Cycle from the first 1966 Batman movie. They had two kits from Knight Rider, both replicas. They had the jalopy from the Beverly Hillbillies, which was actually real. They found it in a junkyard. And they had a prop car from Spider-Man 2. They had a whole bunch of Liberace cars on display, which is really cool. Nice piece of Vegas history there. They also offered a Liberace impersonator to come to your parties. So there's that. Again, pictures were allowed, but video and live streaming was not. Yet, I have put together another slideshow for you. I hope you enjoy this. This is the kind of... Let me rephrase that. I put together another slideshow of the cars on display here. So if this kind of thing is your thing, I highly recommend you visit the Hollywood Cars Museum. Now it's time to get spooky at Universal Horror Unleashed. I had no idea what to expect, but when we walked into a sparse crowd and empty eating areas, I knew that at least that we were going to get a whole lot of, bored scare actors eager to ply their trade, and to be honest, I am their prized mark for this kind of thing. I jump and scream, loud and high, when I get startled, so I get good on numerous occasions. I also get chased because I am a lively mark for the cast. Dave did ask at one point if I was faking it, and I told him no, that it is an honest reaction. This is why friends and family both love going to haunted attractions with me, because I can be every bit as entertaining as the attractions themselves. Nothing is funnier to them than seeing me and all of my 6'3", 200+ pound glory going. You enter in through an area that's called Dead Storage, and there you will see the Vampire Queen swooping overhead and hissing and growling at you. To the left, you'll see the Universal Monsters Maze. Directly ahead is the Kill Vault, and that's where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Maze is located. And the Boiler, which is a first full-service bar, will be to your right. You walk around and past the Boiler. The prop graveyard will be directly ahead, and the Exorcist Believer Maze will be on your right, and Rough Cuts, a sandwich place, is directly opposite on the left. Um, on the other side of the prop graveyard, that is Jack's Alley, and that's where the two sit-down restaurants are located. Premier House, which is where we ate, is on your left. To your right, directly ahead, will be the maze for Scarecrow the Reaping. And directly left of that, behind Jack's staging area, will be Jack's Alley bar and restaurant. You will need uh, reservations for Premier House. However, seating was not an issue when we were there. If you go during peak times, which would probably be September and October for obvious reasons, yeah, you're going to need that. But I think you still have to make reservations, but yeah, your call. Let me see, where was I? Oh, yes. First up, we went to the Exorcist Believer Maze. And because I haven't seen Exorcist Believer, I heard really bad word of mouth on it. And to be honest, The Exorcist I'm not a big fan. I don't think it's all that scary. And, I think it's a good movie, but I'm just not a big fan of the franchise or the genre of exorcism movies. So while my expectations weren't all that high, it was really good. The set and production design, makeup, the performers, they got me jumping and screaming good. It was an excellent maze. High marks. After that, we went to dinner at Premier House, which is decorated in props and themed dioramas of uh, Blumhouse movies. The Black Phone got the big deal, and there's even the phone booth, and the phone would ring on occasion. Although I don't think anybody was there, or was there? Hmm. For dinner, I ordered the Black Lagoon bites from the starter, and I had the Texas Chainsaw Flatbread. And while I don't usually go for hard alcohol drinks, I'm more just like a beer and wine guy at a meal. But I did order the Harvest of Sorrow cocktail, and it was no complaints. That was good. Um, During our meal, Megan came out to do a little mix and mingle with the people that were there, and she did a little dance and a little show, and there was a photo op. And I kept my distance a little bit further away from her than I thought I was. I honestly thought I was standing like right next to her, but in the picture, I'm I'm about a half a foot away from her. But they said don't touch Megan, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to touch Megan. I value my limbs and life too much for that. Dave did inquire to the manager about the crowds and everything, and there was somebody at the table next to us that actually leaned over. So a young lady said that we actually were at a pretty good time to be there because the sparse crowd allowed us the opportunity to be actually see everything. She had come in, I think, October, and she said it was so crowded and that it was you really couldn't really appreciate it the way you could here. And it also is the same for the mazes because I've been to like Not Scary Farm and other ones where the crowd is such that it's just a big long conga line. So you hear like the scream actors or the scare actors, I should say, doing their screaming and shouting like, you know, long before you get to the actual area where there would be a scare. This way, you had no idea what was coming, so it was really optimal for us at this point. Let's see. Yes, I don't think I talked about that just yet. Dinner was interrupted by a performance by Jack the Clown and his murderous sidekick, Chance. Uh, and they had their little shtick was basically they have abducted two people from the strip. Now, at first, I thought they might just be volunteers from the audience, but as the show progressed, it became very well, one, they weren't really dressed appropriately for the weather, and two, they both were like trained acrobats. The female did a really great like bat staff or staff stick thing dance with flying kicks and stuff, which also begs the question why she just didn't deck Jack and run for her life. But it's not that kind of show. And the other guy, the male one, did a really impressive hula hoop thing. And man, his core is like granite because of the balance and everything. But that was a lot of fun. The show culminates with a bunch of people being pulled up onto the stage to vote about whether these contestants can stay or if they get slayed. So they get placards, and one side says slay, the other side says stay. And the group that we had was actually, it looked like a bunch of like mid schoolers, or I don't know if they were on a trip or something, but they all, the voting went about as well as you would think and you're in an attraction like this, and you can choose between icing somebody or saving somebody. What do you think people voted for? What do you think they were encouraged to vote for? Jack and Chance clean off in their show with a thing to go paint the town red, literally. Then some people came out in the rafters and danced. They had like clown masks on. And then there was a photo op with Jack and Chance, and we got our pictures taken. The Jack actor saw me as a mark, so he tormented me a couple of times around when he was mingling and doing crowd work. And we went back, finished up dinner, and went through the Scarecrow, the Reaping Maze. Now, it is a dead heat between whether the Scarecrow, the Reaping, or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best maze. I think it's your personal choice and what you're into aesthetically. Now, I love tales of the supernatural, and I love killer scarecrows. I have ever since I saw Dark Night of the Scarecrow in, I think it was 1981. That was with Larry Drake and Charles Durning. Frank DeFletta, who wrote Audrey Rose, I think he directed it. And yeah, it's a great film, well worth seeing. And this is a great maze. Again, the production design, the set design, it's kind of set with kind of like a twister motif. So there's a lot of distorted or wreckage with trees and whatnot, tearing through a house and stuff flying up in the air, but it's kind of stationary because it's supposed to be like frozen. It's just great, and I loved it. And it was, I'm like, this is what I was hoping for. This is what I came for. I love it. Once we were out, we both took a break to catch our breath because we're both old men approaching 60, and learned that there was going to be a juggling act on Jack's stage. So we went and saw that. He was really funny. Lots and lots of ghoulish dad jokes, and of course juggling, and very impressive. It's not a involved show. It's but he was fun, a great character. We were kind of quoting him for the rest of the weekend. Like, forget about it, And you can't give higher praise than that. So good on you, buddy. Then came the Texas Chainsaw Massacre maze, which I do say was the most impressive of them all. probably because it was based off an actual tactile uh, property that had distinct set pieces in it. So you start, and where the waiting area is the defiled cemetery with the the little diorama that Nubbins made. I don't know if the Hitchhiker made, that is the opening image of the film, and they have the scroll from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre playing, and you go in, and there's the van, or recreation of the van replica, the front of the gas station. You go in, which is where they start the maze, and you know basically you go in. There's the cook, everything, and you go through a door. There is then this the house, the exterior of the house, and you go in, and it's the interior, and they recreated the interior of the Texas Chainsaw House. I mean, the door is right there at the end, and I mean, with the moment I saw it, I the first thing I said was, "Oh shit, there's the door." And I really expected the door to get swung back and Leatherface to like raise his chainsaw, and that really got me on edge. Uh, and then you go in through the living room that had all the bones and feathers and such, and there was the little rooster or the chicken in the bird cage clucking. I mean, they recreated. If you've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, every set piece in that film is pretty much recreated here. And I got chased by Leatherface on like two or three occasions, I think. And Dave is just strolling through the thing like it's a walk in the park, and I just dodge around him and go running right out and almost collapse in the kill vault area. So he got a great picture of me. I think I'll put it up of just like just lying there going, getting a breather. But yeah, great maze, great design. Again, it's really hard for me to choose between which one was quote better. I lean towards Scarecrow because that's my vibe. But Texas Chainsaw Man, that's a great maze. That's a great maze. And also, what was funny was that some actors came out at that moment, and I saw them, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not ready," and I dodged behind a pillar, and of course they saw me. So one of them was like this blood spattered lady with like, she comes around, she goes, "What, don't you like me?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And so I run over to the boiler and continue my breather there. And of course, that just meant the people over there saw me, and there was just like, blah! So it's just unending. It was awesome. I loved it. Oh boy! And after that came, of course, the Universal Monster Maze, and that was probably for me after Scarecrow and TCM. It felt like a little bit of a come down, which is fine. I mean, but it had all of the classics there. I think one of the things was, and this might have been just a staffing thing, because I'm sure that they change the beats in the maze for when the scares happen. I mean, there's probably some that are pretty set and standard, but there could be all different different moments, so you don't know when somebody's going to jump out at you. And so when we went through like the Black Lagoon area, the monster didn't jump out at us, and that disappointed me. I really wanted to get scared by the creature from the Black Lagoon. Maybe next time, because I hope there's a next time. I definitely go. I loved it, and yeah. So then it was time to go shopping. But you know what? I think I need to take another break here. So I made another video. And this is a collection of photos and video I took in the the permitted areas of the attraction where it was okay to take pictures and video. So enjoy. Well, I say enjoy. Good times, eh? So, on Saturday morning. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Universal Horror Unleashed swag. I got a couple of things. First, I got this handy dandy notebook that I will be using at some point between now and 2036, or who knows. Like most writers or wannabe writers, I have a lot of notebooks that I don't use. They had another one that had the bride, but it was the wire kind, and I prefer this. And as you can see, it's got the creature on the. So, yep, that's cool. That's cool. And the other two things I got were they had a um, deal on these little figures. So you know what? We're going to have a Chadwick's channel of stuff. Let's make sure that I don't do something that screws up the recording because I'm running out of time. And nothing like over packaging to prevent shoplifting theft. All right, here we go. Dun dun dun. Here we. Oh. Come here, you ugly spasm. All right, toss you over there. All right, there's Frankie, or the creature. Look at that guy. Isn't he cute? I think he's cute. I like him. And in fact, I'm going to put him right here. Now, I have another one, because it was buy two. They're 25 each, buy two for 30, because I think they had overstock. So, I got this. This, as I said earlier, I love me some scarecrows. I love me some haunted scarecrows. So, whatever. So I'm going to do this. In with the freaking. Ooh, cool. It's got a crow or a raven. Nope, that's a raven. You can tell ravens have the larger beak, I believe. Crows have a smaller beak. Ooh, look at that. Cool, you can see like the straw, but I love me some spooky scarecrows. Look at that guy. I think that's right. Yeah. Look at that guy. Isn't he cute? He's awesome. I love him. He's my favorite. Sorry, Frankie, but all right. Let me put Kitty Kruger over here. Uh-oh. I'll put Penny Kitty there. Screen Kitty can go over there by Jigsaw Kitty, and I'll put Frankie here. And let me see if I can put this guy. There we go. Keep you guys back there. Hi. Oh, yeah. And of course, I got myself a bag. Look at that. So cool. So when I go grocery shopping, people will know that I unleashed the horror. All right. Went back to the hotel, got some sleep. Saturday morning, Dave went to some Japanese sword trade show thing. He was going to, I don't know what it was, but that was the original reason that he was coming out. He's like, hey, it'd be fun if we could do all this horror stuff. Hey, Chad, you want to do that? And I'm like, yes, I do. And we did, and we had fun. So while he was at the Japanese trade show, I did some journaling in the hotel room, and then I walked over to the Luxor. Well, I walked down to the tram and took the tram to the Luxor and visited the Titanic artifact exhibit, which is something that's been on my bucket list. Tanya had already done it, and she was like, I don't want to do it again. So this was my opportunity to do it. And this is a really impressive, immersive experience, no pun intended, that has you walk through the complete history of the RMS Titanic. And evidently the RMS stands for Royal Mail Service, because it was going to deliver mail from the UK to the USA, or the other ports of call it would go to. But it starts with like the design and everything they did, and it goes through when it was launched, and then you go through an area where you can see what it was like if you were going to be sleeping in steerage, and which was far from luxurious. And then, if I remember this correctly, you go through a little area that recreates kind of like some of the second class stuff, which was kind of comparable to first. And then you went in, and I think that's where they had the grand staircase photo op. Now, you can't take any pictures of the grand staircase, but you can get your picture taken at the grand staircase. So I got my picture taken at the grand staircase. But at the grand staircase, so there you go. And I'm going to probably put this over where we have the Jekyll and Hyde restaurant photo and all the other photos that we have over on our bar. So people can look at it and go, ooh, you guys have such an exciting life. We do. Let's see. Then you go into a first class area, and then you go through this area where they recreate the promenade deck. That was awesome. You go out, and it's a starlit night, and there's a little bench you can sit on, and it's just really, you don't feel like you're there, but it is really an impressive sight to behold. Then you go through, of course, the tragedy of that when they struck the iceberg. And there's even a chunk of frozen ice in there where you can touch it, so you get an idea of just how lethally cold it was on that April night, 1912. And the very end, of course, is there is an impressive model of the sunken front section of the wreckage that's currently rotting on the ocean floor. And in another 2 or 3 decades, it seems, there may no longer be a wreck to gawk at. So stupid billionaires are going to have to find another stupid way to kill themselves, I guess. You also exit through a gift shop. And exiting through that gift shop, of course, I got some swag. I got a sticker, which is already in my handy dandy notebook, I think. No, I don't think it is. But I have a bag of like stickers that I do. But the other thing I got was this puzzle of the Titanic puzzle. So that will be on the Jigsaw puzzle playlist at some point in the coming months. I've got the Pieces puzzle. I'm going to be starting that soon, and a video of the Mendocino, California headlands, or the Mendocino Headlands, California State Park. That assembly video is forthcoming as well. So, some jigsaw puzzle for the jigsaw puzzle enthusiasts that occasionally come by. Hey David, Garage Geek, Jigsaw Geek. I know you're watching. So, after that, oh yeah, I lost $10 to that damn Frankenstein slot machine. I got cocky about Friday's winnings. So, adding the 2 weekends together, 5 last week, 10 this week, $2 win, I'm down $13. So, that's how it goes. But, you know, my thing is this, is that when I go to Vegas, I have a set amount of money that I'm willing to lose, and that's usually $5-10 in a slot machine. That's it. And I've learned my lesson very well that like the minute I go above, if I get above what my initial bet was, like I did on Friday, I cash out. The second I'm ahead, I cash out. I don't chase my winnings, and I sure as hell don't chase my losses. It's, you know, so $5-10. You know, that's the cost of a used book, you know, and, you know, who knows, maybe random circumstance will smile on me at some point, you know, hope springs eternal, but the house always wins. Make of that what you will. That evening, Saturday evening, we went on a VIP or RIP of Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum, which I knew very little about, other than it was a haunted museum that had, like, you know, paranormal relics, or, you know, and film props, and a lot of like true crime and serial killer stuff. So, you know, that's all I knew. And we went, and you had to sign a waiver to get in. So if anything spooky follows you, you can't blame them. So clearly this establishment, or the people who run it, don't understand that correlation in no way equals causation. Also, you know, they always talk about the oppressive atmosphere and how spooky, and people feel like, oh yeah, well that's because it's like filled with a bunch of spooky stuff. Not even just like, you know, like ventriloquist dolls and porcelain dolls and everything. And also they keep the lighting really, really, really low, and they pump like fog into the place. So yeah, you know, this is like operatically over the top, scary, spooky. And yeah, you're going to, you know, if you have a breathing issue, I would not recommend going. I mean, our tour lasted 3 hours, and by then I was getting kind of dizzy and lightheaded, but that was because I was getting hungry, and also I had just been breathing crappy air for about, you know, 1 hour too many. You couple that with like the smoking in the casinos. Ugh. But There was also something I didn't appreciate. There were haunt actors. Now I don't know if I didn't double check the web page, but yeah, there's like a circus thing, so they had people dressed up as clowns going, yeah. I did not appreciate that. I'm there to see a museum, not go to a haunt attraction to get. I just didn't appreciate it. Your mileage might vary. Also, one other thing, when we were going down the hallway, I swear, one of the clowns standing in the hallway looked like it had been used in Hell House LLC. It looked like it was a prop from Hell House LLC. But once fooled, twice shy. I didn't want to lean down and put my face right in there just in case it was a scare actor waiting to, you know, you know, startle me. I was in no mood for that. In fact, I had a fist cocked. The next person that jumps out tries to scare me is going to get 5 reasons to go visit a dentist. Um, Also, I thought some of the crime. Also, there was one crime scene recreation or stuff because they actually got like, I don't know if it's accurate or not, but they would get some stuff. And there was one crime scene recreation that crossed the infotainment true crime line into something that was more intentionally offensive and into the Mondo arena. In fact, I told him I felt less like I was in a haunted museum and more I was in a Mondo museum. So if you take this tour and they give the content warning announcement, they are not engaging in hyperbole. Take that warning seriously, believe me. But it was cool seeing the rocking chair from the demon murder case, or which was the film, which is the version I saw. It starred Kevin Bacon, and Andy Griffith played Ed Warren in it, and Richard Mauser played the attorney. And that aired, I think, in 1983. And but it was adapted as The Conjuring 3: The Devil Made Me Do It. And it's one of the reasons I didn't go see it, because I'd seen the demon murder case. I'm like, okay, I don't need to go see that. And also the allure of the Warren mythology had worn off on me. Also, there was like stuff from Natalie Wood's and Robert Wagner's yacht, and also one of the most um, documented cases of possession. There's a lot of possession in there, man. And it's like, don't demons have better things to do than just like, I don't know. I'm not a theologian. And also, all of the video intros and the things showing people overcome by bad forces and stuff. I mean, that got tiresome. And Baggins' video intros warning people to keep their thoughts positive and whatnot, because of these really dangerous relics. It got tiresome after the 4th, or was it the 5th, or even the 6th time. I was just like, look, a little goes a long way. And of course, you exit through the gift shop, and of course, you get some goodies. Of course, I got some goodies. Why, I'm leaving. To quote Denzel, I'm leaving with something. I'm from around the way. I don't even know where the way is, but I'm leaving with something. Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So I got my RIP All Access lanyard, which I'm going to keep and put over with my Universal VIP lanyard that I got when we took the studio tour and whatnot. You got a free T-shirt, so something to wear to the gym, or perhaps I will give it to my son. Don't know, but there's that. And finally, last but not least, you know what? I'm going to take it out of the packaging here because I need to. I don't think. Can I take it out of the package? Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know. Can I take it out of the packaging? Yes, you may take it out of the packaging. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you're quite welcome. Remember to recycle. Oh, yes, I shall. I got this one. It's a little kitty cat. I had a little Sam. Sam's the face of the station. He's my kitty cat. But this is the last thing. Um, I was going to go through and talk about all of the go through the newspaper clippings for the last week of January. But as I put this video together and did all of the other work for it, I realized it was getting really long, and I don't want to do like a hour and a half, and it would be an hour and a half if I did it. So I'm going to close it off now with this trip to Vegas that was predominantly spooky, but also fun. And tomorrow or the day after getting some rest, I'll do the I'll do the remainder of I'll do the more traditional stuff of the week where I talk about the newspaper ads and the Blu-ray purchases and any reading updates, and there's reading updates and so forth, and some channel updates, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'll be yapping at you in the next video, and until then, stay scary. Bye.